Next is taxes. That's now that it looks to be, as of this recording, that the House will be controlled by the Republicans as well. And one of their signature goals will be to extend or at least to adjust the Trump tax cuts that went into effect and were set to sunset or expire after 2025. Next year, there'll be a lot of focus on that because, again, that's 2025. So that's the last year of the old system. But within there, they're going to be talking about, okay, well, we also have a large debt and deficit that we need to address. So what type of taxes and what will actually come out of Congress? On the campaign trail, they talked about reducing corporate tax rates. Right now, it's roughly about 21% on corporations, and then bringing that down to 15%. But it was for only what was called, again on the campaign trail, domestic production. Okay, so define domestic production. Or, okay, we're going to tax you less at 15% if it's domestic production. But what is domestic production? How will that be defined? And what type of impact is that going to have on the final legislation? Another one that was talked about was tips. The fact that we're going to no longer tax tips. Well, that also becomes tricky because people could easily game the system. I could just say, you know what? My entire salary, or Evan's our producer here, was tips. And so now he's going to be completely tax-free because he's saying that everything he earned was tips here at SHP as compared to your normal salary. So tell me how that's going to work out? Clearly some difficulty there as well. So we'll certainly be tracking tips as they go and what happens with this corporate tax rate. Ironically enough, Social Security, which was also brought up on the campaign trail, is easier to implement because that's sort of just a line item. Okay, hey, this income, I think all of or certainly people that are listening or watching that have Social Security, they get their tax forms from Social Security on an annual basis. And so it could be quite easy to just say, yep, that income is now no longer taxable. As I said earlier, though, we still have a large debt, a massive debt. So how are we going to pay for all of these tax cuts? Whether it's tax cuts on, as I mentioned, on corporations, whether it's the extension of the tax cuts themselves, whether it is Social Security, whatever that may be. Now, some would argue that, tariffs will help raise some revenue and offset that. Well, unfortunately, a lot of our spending is on Medicare, Social Security, and defense. So if they are really going to go to town and make and generate more efficiency, they're going to need to go into the third rail areas of defense, Medicare, and Social Security, which would not be politically palatable, and people would certainly have a lot of things to say there. It even talk of things like gutting some of the Infrastructure Act. Well, a lot of those projects are also in Republican districts. At the end of the day, this is all the things that we're looking at. This is the type of taxes and uncertainty that we talk about.